Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to be joined by the broadcasting behemoth that is Mr. Lee Mack. Applause for Lee Mack. I haven't got any applause.
I'm not sure how I feel about being called a behemoth because I've stopped drinking and I'm genuinely scared of moths.
Very nice. I mean, yeah. I don't know how many series of Not Gonna Out we've done yet, but without getting a behemoth joking, it's a matter of time.
I don't think I really know what a behemoth is. What is a behemoth?
I think it's just a big thing. I think it's just a big, like a giant thing.
You introduced me as a behemoth, and now you're telling me you're not sure what it means. It's like, that's quite worrying.
I should have double checked.
That has just been released from prison for a very untoward crime.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
We'll soon find out when you get the messages.
That's true.
I'm drinking coffee because I thought I'd go for the casual look. And I should point out the hat isn't a casual look. The hat is because I'm filming something where I have to have slightly crazy hair, and it got postponed because of the virus, and I'm not allowed to cut my hair now. So it's all over the place.
So you've got to keep the crazy hair for potentially months. A lockdown of crazy hair.
I can't even get it trimmed to how it should look because there's no one available to trim, is there? So I just have to, cover it up in public situations.
Well, let's start by asking then, how's your 2020 been? How's your lockdown experience gone so far?
Well, I don't watch much news and I don't have social media. So what are you talking about? What's been happening?
For this here event of which we're gathered, for which GoFundMe.com/Save Jenny, by the way, I should say that's where to go to help donate the cause. And Jenny has asked you a question. Ask, is it harder to make a lie seem true or a truth seem like a lie?
That's a very good question, because do you know what? It's the only advice I give to people when they come on the show, when they say, have you got any tips? I always say, it's extremely easy to lie because we all do it all the time. Every minute of the day, not every minute, but every day, people tell a lie. It can be very small lie. It can be, hey, great to see you. And you go, is it? Do you really feel that passionate about seeing me? Or have you exaggerated it a little bit? Or are you just lying? You just actually just want to go to the post office, right? So those sort of things, we spend every day constantly lying, but actually telling, it never crops up in your life where you are telling the truth, but you want people to think you're lying. I can't think of one example in real life where that ever crops up.
That's a good point.
So it's very difficult to do that. And so what people do, and make the mistake on the show, of stumbling a lot for no reason. So they'll say, if it's a true story involving their mate Steve, you'll say, okay then, and what was your mate's name then? Instead of just going, Steve, they think, well, I can't offer it up too quickly. So they go, Steve. And then you instantly know they think in their head, go, he must be lying. He couldn't think of a name. But actually, it's the opposite. You just go, I was telling the truth. Anyone can think of a name on the spot, right?
You'd have thought. Steve, there's one for you.
Think of a name, Paul. Yeah. Come on, tell me a name.
No, you've done Steve.
You see, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is difficult. It's trickier than you think. Wrong. Joker, there's one that's come to mind.
Yeah. Have you seen that film?
It's a good film. It's a very good film.
I hated it. Don't know why I got the poster.
Fair enough.
No, it is a modern day classic, in my opinion. I absolutely love it.
I wasn't planning on telling you this, but actually, my wife, who is a psychologist, whenever we watch Would I Lie to You, she reckons she spotted a way to work out who's lying. And it's when the This Is My round, right?
The person who we claim to know.
Yeah, the person you claim to know. Whoever is lying, she always says, when the camera zooms out, the person who actually does know that person doesn't look at the person when they come on. And the other two people often instinctively sort of, someone walks in the room, you glance at them, go, oh, hello. But the person who knows them deliberately, often not looking or last to look. And then she'll always go, it's that one. And she's mostly right, apart from when she's...
I'll tell you why that doesn't quite hold up, because I know something about the show that your wife doesn't know, which is you read from the card, but the one time you don't read from the card is when the person walks on. When the person walks on, you've got to just know it. You've got to learn the phraseology. And even if you're telling the truth, it's sometimes hard because you've got to say it exactly as the producers want you to say it, even if it's true. And so me and David, having done this for many years, it's fair to say, are just a bit slacker than the guests in learning it. So even though we're not supposed to read it, we'll jot down a little note on the desk, we'll put it there, and then we'll just surreptitiously just have a little glance to remind ourselves. So when the person's walking on, we're not looking at the person because we're just reminding ourselves of what it is we're supposed to do.
Fair enough.
So that falls down. But if one of the guests doesn't look, good system.
Could be.
One which I will now be using.
You can have that. There you go. You can have that.